No admittance examination in progress.
Punk was already happening when we started listening to the lyrics. I think that was the key. It wasn't about Route 66. It was about what was happening in cities in this country. It wasn't until we got Saturday jobs at W.H. Smith's that we could actually afford to start buying music properly. The stock in that W.H. Smith's was pretty good, I can tell you. The only downside to working at Smith's was when the Pistols got to #1 with God Save the Queen. There used to be a pegboard type chart in the department. So basically people could see what the top 10, top 20 singles were that week. And W.H. Smith's policy was to leave a blank where the Pistols should have been. And I was livid. I suppose if I put it into a cultural context, you know, parents from they're immigrants, and their attitude to the country they're living in is, well, looking back now, it's strange. They're quite insular. Your cousins were your friends. Your brother was your best friend. So Alex and I, you know, in our earlier years, we basically did everything together. We played together. If the family went anywhere, then we'd be doing stuff together. Why I thought he could play the bass, I don't know. It was just natural. It happened that way. There was a space there. Oh, we'd get Alex to do that. We went on this holiday basically armed with these tapes. We were into the Pistols, the Clash, the Damned, the Buzzcocks. And for that 5 weeks, that's how we entertained ourselves, because there wasn't anything much going on in Yugoslavia culturally in 1977, I can tell you. We thought we'd go exploring. We had a look round, and we got to this Yugoslavian supermarket. It was massive, you know, aisle after aisle of empty shelves, and then in one place a few items. You know, we couldn't believe what we were seeing. But that month of just listening to that limited selection of bands sort of makes it clear in your mind as to what it is that you want. We had no microphone, so just to give the feel of a microphone, we tied a banana on a piece of string and hung it from one of Johnny's chandeliers for Jem to sing into. I got a letter of application from Pete Brown John to join the band, addressed to a Mr. Nasty Twitch. I thought, cheeky bastard. We got Pete, got Alex, we got myself and Jem, and all we needed then was a name. It was the Pogo that was the inspiration for it, and that's how we ended up with Hawker Harrier and the Jump Jets. September 77, started in sixth form, and somebody had the bright idea of having a talent contest at Christmas. So that was it. That was going to be the first gig for this band. As soon as we decided we were punks, you know, we all went off and got a haircut and started dressing according to Oxfam chic, and people started noticing us as being a little bit different, and people's attitudes changed immediately.
I love me and I can't stand you, 'cause you don't like what I like to do. You say it's sick and makes you puke, but we have one without no fluke. Never mind, fuck your kind, it makes you blind. Get behind, narrow mind, you got a narrow mind, narrow mind, narrow mind, narrow mind, narrow mind, narrow mind, you're strangling me! Okay, Levi, that sounds good.
You're talking about a bunch of 16-year-olds who had no musical knowledge whatsoever. After all these rehearsals at Johnny Jones's, you know, we thought we were ready. Even though Pete had yet to play a drum kit. We started our set. Everybody sits down cross-legged to watch the band. I thought, what the hell? But we thought, you know, the simple fact of seeing us, people would launch into pogoing the minute we started playing. You know, this is how naive we were. And I could see Jem wasn't too happy about this. He started getting angrier and angrier. In the meantime, Alex, he wasn't particularly playing the bass. It was more that he was holding it while he was jumping up and down. And just as well, because the guts fell out of it. I don't know who'd lent it to. If it was you, Kevin. Pete was struggling manfully on the drums, hitting them as hard as he could. I think it was Mr. Haynes, who was a French teacher, came running up to us and said, "That was fantastic, fantastic." I mean, I don't know what he was on, but he seemed really enthused by it. And despite the sort of negative reaction we'd got out front, we didn't have any plans beyond that. There was a local band called Brad, the Cotton Brothers, who did rock and roll, and they decided to change their name to the Jets, which upset us no end because it had taken us months to come up with the name Hawker Harrion and Jump Jets, and we didn't want to be associated with what they were doing. So we had to come up with a new name, and eventually settled on the ISAWS, which as an ugly thing fitted with the punk aesthetic, but a double-edged thing as being witnesses to this punk phenomenon that we were part of. We were proud of the fact that we knew nothing, because we were bored of all the music that was being produced by the musicians.
Fuck off!